All right, so we're going to take a look at some other African colonies and how they gained their independence and what the impact of those independence movements is in those places. And we just talked about the do now a little bit, so here we go. All right, so I'll kind of go over this quickly while you guys jot down these notes. So the interesting thing here is, we've gone over India, we've gone over South Africa. And the reason we do this is because if we go over those two places, they kind of bring forward the different examples of how to go about independence movements. Okay. In the case of India, we saw nonviolent protest and civil disobedience and things like that. And in South Africa, you saw a combination of both. In the earlier, you saw the beginning of civil disobedience, and then Mandela starts to realize that military action is going to be necessary. So you saw a violent kind of uprising also. So between an examination of India and South Africa, you see almost the full spectrum of strategies with regard to gaining independence from European colonizers. So basically, one or some combination of both of these strategies are what is going to be used by other colonies in order to gain their independence. So they're going to mimic some of these strategies, borrow from one, borrow from another, etc. All right, I'll give you a second here because this is important. So like we said, there's going to be different strategies that are used by different colonies. Some will use nonviolent means to kind of achieve their independence. Other will use extreme forms of violence in some instances to achieve their goals. So it really kind of runs the gamut. This unit and the next unit is genocide. We're going to talk about, and this kind of bleeds into the next unit also, because when the Europeans leave these places and they just get up and walk away, it's not like they're putting a ton of energy into any kind of meaningful transition plan for these places. Like, hey, we know you've been under our rule for a really long time and we'd like to grant you independence, but we're going to help ease you into that. Nope, they just get up and walk away. And maybe that is the desire of a lot of the people of these places. Who am I to say? But it does have certain impacts. The conditions that they leave some of these colonies in result in years and years of hardship and bloodshed in some situations. Okay, so the fallout from imperialism is something that is still being felt in certain parts of the world today, and that's something that we will continue going over in other units also.